thank you everyone for introducing yourself in the chat. You guys can go through and find your friends, find your compatriots. We'll go from there. All right, next slide, please, Rachel. Okay, so on today's call, we're going to start with why, the why of the food drive. We're going to talk about ways to support your local food bank, how to track donations, because that's an important piece of the puzzle. And then we're going to hear from Andrew from the California Association of Food Banks, get a statewide picture of what's happening throughout our state, especially during these COVID times and all the different ways we've seen the food system shift. We're also then going to hear from Peggy at the Sacramento Food Bank and Family Services so that we can hear a local view, since so many of us state employees are here in Sacramento. But this local view will also transfer to your communities as well. And then, of course, at the end, we'll have time for a Q&A if there's follow-up questions that people have. So we're going to hop into it so that we can stay on track for today. Welcome to the 2021 State Employee Food Drive call. Again, for anyone who's watching this recording, my name is Nick Anisich. I'm the Farm to School Program Manager in the Office of Farm to Fork at the California Department of Food and Ag. And really, there's no one specific reason why we do the food drive. Everyone finds their own entry point into this work. So if you're able to and interested, willing to share in the chat, why do you participate in the food drive? We would love to see that. Some of the common themes that we have, benefits that we hear reported from people who participate. One is that it shows care for our community. So it's a great way for people to go out into the community and take care of one another. Two, it improves nutrition security and reduces food access, or it improves food access. So it's a great way to support our partners. If anybody has experienced hunger or worked with communities that experience hunger, you know that it's a very important thing for us to solve and work on together. And then lastly, to connect with each other. For us at state agencies, especially going remote for a lot of us, can be a challenge to stay connected. So we use the food drive as another opportunity to connect with each other, whether we're coordinating donations, coordinating volunteer events, whatever it is, it's an opportunity for us to gather. Next slide. Yeah, thank you. So here's the different ways that we know that food banks need your support this year. There's monetary donations, there's food donations, and volunteer hours. And the reason why we're laying them out so clearly this year is because for every food bank, it's a different scenario. Each food bank in each community has had to respond differently to the COVID-19 pandemic. So some food banks are not accepting food donations this year. Some are taking volunteers, some aren't. All of them are definitely accepting monetary donations. And what's great about donating money is that it's flexible for the food banks. They can use it however they need in order to best serve their community. So we encourage monetary donations in addition to food donations and volunteer hours where you're able to. And this website that you can see on this slide, Food Banks Need Our Help, it has a link to donate, and that will help you find your local food bank to donate to. So you are able to find your local food bank or donate to the Association of Food Banks, whichever one you prefer, however you want to make your impact. So it's up to you to support in these three ways. So it's really easy. Donate your money, donate your time, or donate your food. All right, next slide. Okay, and then here's the important part for our food drive is that we want to track and see how big of an impact we're making as state employees so that we can set goals. Last year was the first year that we transitioned to a virtual food drive where there weren't bins in your offices and we're doing pasta week and all of this stuff. It's a lot. So by transitioning to this virtual food drive, it's a new format. We're gonna have to track donations in a different way. So we have this handy dandy food drive donation form that you can find. It's gonna go out in the notes and then it's gonna be added to the food drive website. And that's how you'll claim credit for your activities, your donations, and all of that work that you're doing, whether it's volunteer hours, running in the Run to Feed the Hungry here locally, or donating food or donating money. You just go on and fill it out. It's a Survey Monkey. So it's really easy. You fill it out, claim your credit. You can add, you could screenshot your receipts to put them on there. to claim credit, and then our team is tracking them all. So you just find the form and donate. What you're also going to get is weekly newsletters with updates on the food bank. So every agency has a food drive coordinator, and those coordinators will help be a megaphone for these newsletters and updates. So you'll get some info on where we're at donations wise, some good brainstorms on what to donate for, all of that kind of like, should I donate pasta? Should I donate this? Can I volunteer? We'll share all those stories there. And thank you, Laura, for sharing why you participate in the food drive. All right, so how to support: money, time, food, and then how to track it on your SurveyMonkey. That's the most important stuff. And then if you have questions, if you need help, you can email at cafooddrive@cdfa.ca.gov. On the flyer there, it has all of our information. So you can always ask us for questions. Michael, I see your question. When the donation is made by an organization, how is it tied to the department? It just goes in the survey form. You make the connection to the department. So on your food drive credit form, you'll say who it's coming from, and that will let us track it. Good question. All right, so that's the basic info I wanted to share with you. Help us all reflect together on why we donate, why we participate. Help us find the easiest ways to make the biggest impact through monetary donation, food donation, volunteer hours, and then also to share that this is how we track the donations this year. So you can find the form and donate that way. Okay, and now what I'm going to do is hand it off to Andrew from the Association of Food Banks. Andrew, are you there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Hi, Andrew. Yes, I can. Thank you so much. So I'm really excited to have you here to share what's going on statewide and what the Association of Food Banks does. So take it away, Andrew. Thank you so much.
Great. Well, thanks, Nick. It's wonderful to see you. Obviously, appreciate working with you in your day job on Farm to School and all things healthy school meals for all. And just a shout out to Secretary Ross for her great blog post and all the work that CDFA is doing to host this, but just truly to everyone. I mean, it's nearly 200 people strong. I know with remote that I'm not up in the agencies and offices, and I see there's people from all across the state, which is wonderful too. But just really means a lot personally, and to obviously our organization and our network and our mission. So just sincere thanks to everyone. I know that you've all been through this pandemic too. So I'll be brief. Nick, you gave a great overview, but just to give some more of the why, it's probably no surprise to you on this call, but we're still, unfortunately, in unprecedented territory when it comes to food insecurity. The latest data from the Census Household Pulse show that it's nearly 20% overall of Californians reporting food insecurity. It's about 18%. So that's almost double from before the pandemic. So, not quite 8 million Californians, and much, much higher, especially for families with children, Black, Latinx families reporting really 25, even 30%. And so that need is there. That's certainly being showed in the lines at our food banks. I think there's probably a lot of you who are already connected to your food bank in one way or another. So you may be seeing that already, but certainly that's been reflected in the long lines, and even the new folks, who may have needed assistance before the pandemic, but there may have been barriers, there may have been stigma, but if anything's been a bright light, it's showing that people are connecting and supporting one another, and so there's a lot of families that are now getting the aid they need and getting back on their feet. So we're so grateful for the State Employees Food Drive. Our 41 members, we have member food banks from Humboldt County to Imperial, serving all 58 counties. So really appreciate that local connection, as well as obviously the Nexus in Sacramento. And our campaign is around everyone to the table. So we're asking all stakeholders, public, private, volunteering, your time, financially, or food. And so we appreciate your ability to do that now, and then to spread the word long after the food drive ends. And I would just say that it's even more important this year. In addition to the spike in food insecurity, there's been a big drop in federal foods. We're obviously trying to work on that with Congress. And a lot of the supply chain issues that probably many of you are facing in your agencies are affecting food banks too. And a lot of volunteers are still limited given the challenges of COVID, and so many folks are trying to go back to school and work. So if you're able, that generosity of time is so impactful. As Nick mentioned, if you're able to make a financial contribution, you and your teammates, that really gives food banks the flexibility. So statewide, using their economies of scale, buying and purchase, food banks are turning that $1 into 5 meals statewide. And that's going to vary, but that's the statewide average. And food banks are buying a lot more. And again, with the supply chain, food costs are rising. And so if you're, again, able to volunteer, that helps defray costs and helps sort that food, pack boxes, and get it out safely. Not only that, making a financial contribution allows food banks to purchase locally, meeting those culturally appropriate needs of your communities. That can vary everything from resettling Afghan families to providing food for farm workers, right? But localizing those purchases really helps with that flexibility. And again, I just want to really appreciate the recognition of this work by CDFA and across the state. I saw someone from GovOps. And so I'll just tell a quick story that in 2017, I saw a plaque in then Governor Brown's office that they had the most donations per employee. So I don't know if that's still the case, but I appreciate the work being done to track the donations. And it's just so fun to see the competitive spirit of generosity across the state with everyone coming to the table. So thank you very much.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Andrew. It's really great to hear from you. And like you said, there's some competitive spirit that can come out for us. So we'll track everyone who's submitting your donation forms for your credit. We'll give those updates as much as we are able through our food drive coordinators and our weekly newsletters. So I see a question in the chat. Will we be able to track donations by office? We'll definitely be able to do it by department or by agency. I'll see if we can add another layer to the survey or maybe we can add it in extra notes where people can put which office so that we can track through it that way. It's so exciting that people are asking the questions and want to get involved. Okay, so we have one more speaker for us today, and it's Peggy Marshall from the Sacramento Food Bank and Family Services. Peggy has been a food drive coordinator and a partner on this for such a long time. Because there's so many of us in Sacramento, we wanted to make sure that everyone knew about what was happening here locally. So Peggy is here to talk through the Food Bank and Family Services here in Sacramento and share different ways that we can get involved with them. Thank you, Peggy.
Thanks, Nick. So nice to be here with all of you today. There's 188 participants on this Zoom call today, so it's super impressive. And I'm really glad that we're able to include so many more agencies and offices throughout the state this year. It's going to be a really successful year. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about for those of you who are here locally in Sacramento, we have our big turkey drive coming up this coming Friday. It is from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. and it's at our Family Services campus in Oak Park in Sacramento. The address is 3333 3rd Avenue. And you can stop by anytime between 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. We have staff and volunteers that will come and take turkeys out of your car for you. It's a no-touch situation. You don't have to get out of your car. Hopefully the weather will hold up for us, but even if it's raining, you can stay nice and dry in your car. We collect a lot of turkeys that day. As I've said before, last year we collected over 16,000 turkeys on the one day. A couple years ago, we had over 4,000 turkeys that were donated by state employees alone. So a quarter of the turkeys that we received were from state employees. And we are so, so grateful for all of your generosity and hope that everybody can make a great effort to come out again this year. Last year, it was a lot lower, obviously, because of COVID and people weren't in the office and able to organize those drives. So we're hoping that this year we can bump those numbers up again. If you are going to donate that day, please bring in a turkey drive donation form. It has your agency name on it and the number of turkeys that you're going to donate, the pounds of turkeys, and then we can get that added to your totals as well. I believe Rachel is going to send out that turkey drive donation form or add it to the website if it isn't already. So we also that day, in case anybody is looking to do this, we take non-perishables, kind of side dishes and fixings along with the turkeys. If you wanted to, we encourage turkeys. They're usually most requested by our clients and our agencies. But if you wanted to donate a tofurkey, if you're a vegetarian, or a ham, something like that, we also accept those as well. So along with the turkey drive this coming Friday, we have our Run to Feed the Hungry coming up on Thanksgiving Day. It's the largest Thanksgiving Day run in the country. A couple years ago, before COVID, we had 29,000 people that showed up and donated for us. And I'm not sure what we're expecting this year at this point, but it's a really large event for people to come and support the community. If you want to register for that, you can go to runtofeedthehungry.com, and it has all the details about registration and all the details about the day. The run starts, it's a run walk, so you don't have to be a runner. It starts about 9 a.m. on Thanksgiving Day. And there also is a virtual component. If you're not comfortable going out on Thanksgiving Day, you can be, I think it's called a drumstick runner, and you can donate financially and support the cause that way. You also get a t-shirt too, if you're, even if you're doing it virtually. So those are our two big events for Thanksgiving that are coming up. And I just wanted to let you all know your impact on our organization is huge. We've been the beneficiary in Sacramento for the State Employees Food Drive this is our 8th year. And the generosity that comes from your group and all of your employees, it does not go unnoticed. And we would not be able to do the things that we do without all of your generous support. So I just thank you all so much and hope to see you out at the turkey drive.
Awesome. Thank you, Peggy, for sharing all of that information. There's some questions in the chat that you might be able to provide answers to, but I wanted to answer one of the ones that I saw. So I included a link to the Turkey Drive website in the chat.
Can I speak Alberto, please?
Oh, if you're
Next, please, okay.
And we can keep going. So then I see one more question. Can I pass on food to any employee living in Folsom who's going to Sacramento for the turkey food drive? Of course you can. You can do that to donate and just fill out the donation form to get credit. Doesn't have to be you dropping it off if you have somebody doing it for you. That's still you making the donation. So thank you. And then if there are others who have questions, please start getting them ready. I have one more slide to share before we get into the Q&A. So here's what to expect moving forward. We talked about the different ways. You can donate money, you can donate your hours, you can donate food. So these are the ways. We talked about getting credit for donating with that by using the donation tracker form. And then here's what to expect moving forward. On Tuesdays, we'll send out a weekly newsletter through the food drive coordinators where it'll have updates for the food drive. When we get donation total updates, we'll share those. It will have brainstormed ideas for donations, or if you have a great story that you think you'd like us to hear and promote about your team going and volunteering or your team donating together, whatever it is, share that with us and we can include that in the newsletter as well. So we'll have a newsletter every Tuesday, and then we're going to do a couple check-ins. One, the webinar on December 7th will give food drive updates and additional opportunities, best practices, ideas for volunteers, and just another opportunity to get inspired and check in. The last day to donate is January 7th. So we're going from November 9th to January 7th for donations. Once the donation period is up, we're going to do all the totals and tallying, and then we'll do a third webinar on January 28th, again, a lunchtime webinar to wrap the food drive, thank everyone, and share the results of any competition that has emerged. So you can see that we're going to have these check-in points every Tuesday. You'll have it in your inbox, Once in December, we'll have a webinar. And then once in January to wrap it up, we'll do another webinar. So please share your positive success stories with us. Share your challenges and opportunities with us so that we can continue to refine the food drive, make it even better for future years, try to problem solve anything together. Okay, so the next slide is just Q&A. So what do you want to talk through? Are there any remaining questions that we can answer? Is there anything else I can clarify about the food drive at this point? And we can end the screen share now if we need to. Yeah, Mark, I see, is the main website fooddrive.ca.gov? Yep, that's it. Nailed it. Thank you. So that's the website. You can go there. Is the donation form online? So if you click the donate link on our website, it will go to find your local food bank. And then you can choose which food bank you'd want to donate to. The donation credit form is a survey, and that's going to go out with this call in an email. So that's where you'll get your credit for that, and then we'll add that to the website as well. And then Stephanie, can you contribute to a food bank not on the list? Yeah, you can. These are the California Association of Food Bank members that are listed there. So those are like the major hubs throughout the state. But if you have a local food bank or a food pantry that you'd like to donate to, of course, you can donate to them and just claim credit on the form and fill out any information that's needed. Great question. Okay. So we can stay on a little bit more if people have other questions, but really it's a great opportunity to gather your team together and to go do something that makes an impact in the community. So we really encourage you and are grateful for you for doing this work, for even spending this lunchtime on a webinar, kicking this off. I can't believe how many people were here, 182 right now. So thank you all for joining. If you have more questions, Rachel, can you put the email address in the chat for us for if people have follow-up questions and they want to contact us? The best way is just to send it to this email, and then we'll reach out to you and respond directly. cafooddrive@cdfa.ca.gov. And I see one more comment here. A food bank didn't answer your voicemails, the one which you called on Friday. That can happen. Food banks and food pantries are very, very busy, normally volunteer driven. So we can help you get in touch with them if you'd like that. You can email us and let us know which one. We can try another workaround to get in touch with them to support you and help you make that donation. I see another question. Are there posters available or just the flyer online? On our website, there's that one flyer, and then we can add more information. Like, do you need more than the one that's online? So we have the food bank. It's like a logo kind of thing where people are holding up their cards. That one is on there and you can download that. And then we also have the flyer, which has details for the turkey drive, and it was in our slide deck. We can also put that online too. So there's the poster. Okay. Yeah, well, thank you for emailing that food bank and trying to make your donation. I'm sure that they're hopefully out doing work in the community and we'll be able to respond to you and accept that donation soon. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Thank you all for coming. Thank you for joining us today. And like I said, please email with any ideas, any happy stories that you want to share. We want to put that in our newsletter and continue to encourage people to donate and participate. So thank you, everyone, today. And can't wait to see how this all goes. We'll talk to you again in December on our next webinar. All right. Thanks all.